All right, everyone, we're going to get into advanced preparation here in fantasy football with this type of training to assist you in setting, what kind of preparation you need beforehand, preferably a couple of days before the actual lineups of the games here. We have a couple of more games as far as this time of the season, a couple more weeks to go into. So to go ahead and delve into that first, but just preface by saying that basically going into something like this, it's my passion that I love doing. That helping people learn how to do this to actually create numbers and using data to be able to successfully, because of failing for years, many people had done so and were out of the game. And so I'm excited to bring this to you uh, because of finding and discovering these particular most advanced strategies. So in particular for use in preparation here and for these NFL games, which can be very difficult for a lot of people when they put themselves out of the game with no chance. So I just want to bring that enthusiasm to the game and that level of excitement as well. So looking at here, the matchups for this is week 16, right? Let's see. So here's our Vegas and money spread lines and so on. Highest implied point team total for those of you who are beginners. May not be completely aware or know how to get into these kind of numbers and what they mean exactly, but just when you look at projected points, it's just going to tell you how many points that particular team is expected to score for that and the odds of that. Obviously, with the money line over and unders, you're looking at a negative that you're in money and winning for that team if you pick a lot of their players, and giving you a feel for what the oddsmen say that these games are going to be like. So if you want to get really down, narrow it down to what it really is and what it means, we're looking at trying to spread them out appropriately here at 28 and a quarter points. You see there's a separation between them and the next highest scoring game, Baltimore and Indianapolis, which I don't really see as in particularly, maybe a high scoring game other than Baltimore. Maybe it's a blowout. So maybe just on Baltimore's end, 27, looking at that scenario. But these other games here, such as I see, the Patriots, the Saints, the Eagles, and the Panthers, all of which these teams happen to be at home. They're not playing at somewhere at any of these teams like Buffalo, Atlanta, Oakland, or Tampa. These teams are hosting their games. So these four teams right here in solid position: the Patriots, the Saints, the Eagles, and the Panthers. So we really want to look at those teams seriously as we're making our lineups. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and compare what this is, the lineup HQ, so they can get some sort of idea if this is what I think it is. Maybe having something to do with an optimizer that they may have. Let's see. So for research and lineup building, we have taken our lineup builder tool and evolved it, packing with more free and premium features to give you an edge over the competition. Let's be quick. Okay, so here it is. I'm just showing you, what to do and what it offers here on the free. So you select your site, your slate that you want to play on, and you go to your player pool, start building out to whatever you want to do here. There's a lineup to the right you can actually build. So this is somewhat useful here because you can go ahead and build your lineup on screen before you actually put it on there, right? All kinds of ways to sort these out. And then they ask for a premium fee. So who knows how much, what this caps out at as far as features and how much that costs. So we're not going to really, use this, but it has some different things on it you may want to take a look at. But what I want to take you to is actual the draft dashboard. So that entails every lineup for a week, and such as like going here to browse teams, you'll just see some of the same overlying and underlying informations that's just overlapping that you'll see over there, of course. And you can get to directly to draft dashboard, of course, and just try to enter a lineup and see what comes out as optimized. I believe there's a free version of that. Last time I checked, but of course there's a paid $1 trial for a month that you can do. And if you want to go ahead and get my report though on the particular aspects of this and the features, and get even daily updates throughout the week on this, and great lineup advice and so forth, strategy for DFS and fantasy football, you can just go to dfsfreereport.com/get free access. Actually, it looks like this, as I'm just going to keep this video down to about 15 minutes here, but here is actually hyphenated in between the get free access, and you just see this page here. I don't show this on every video, I just kind of like leave the link in there, but this is what it looks like as far as your creation of a top 10% daily fantasy. Wouldn't that be nice, right? To always get in the top percent of daily fantasy winning lineups, you'd be rolling in a lot of money. But you can expect to, achieve results like this if you're, into, cash or 50% or head-to-head games, where this is very possible because, the majority of, let's say, you win 60% of these games, but if you're figuring to be in the top 10 of people that actually play these and earn these winnings, that's a very significant amount, because you see most people don't know these strategies and how to win. And I give you an example of starting out here with just an account you can do on FanDuel, of course, showing how you can go ahead and start small. And looking at my history here real quick, just to show you how, or as an idea how it's done, at least at first. I just got to scroll through the NFL matchups, as there's a lot of sports going on right now. For example, this one right here, these 5-player contests, I always win. I very seldom do I not see I invest $2 and get $9 back. It's just easy money. It's not a lot of money, obviously, but it's just an easy way to consistently get that money. And then here, head-to-head, Sunday through Monday contest, put in $2 and get not as much, but $3.60 is still profitable earnings. And you can do that with all kinds. Of course, you can enter tournaments. I recommend doing so at the low entry price point, as low as possible, like even between 25 cents and $1, so that you're not risking a lot, and you can actually have the upside of winning potential earnings of like $1,000, couple thousand, even just from $1. So that's the amazing part about this whole game and everything, is that there are opportunities to do that out there. Sometimes like this one here, the NFL pancake block, you can enter 25 cents, you can get 50 cents back. But if you don't get it, if you don't lose it, hey, big deal. So 25 cents lost, who cares? So that just goes on and on for me, as I get daily winnings of the profit range of about maybe 20% of my investments for what I put into. So sometimes you can just do really well. I was just trying to show a contest, as these are all low entry fees, so it's low risk. You're not risking a lot of money. Let's see. Because if you're going to know what you're preparing for, you got to know what kind of contest to enter and how much money to put in, right? Just wanted to show you an example of the upside potential in NFL. So I'm looking for one of these had done very well. Just wanted to find it real quick. Should have had this pulled up. Sorry about that. Anyways, in most weeks, hardly anybody is profitable to actually win more money than they put in. So that's just something to think about. That every week that I've done that, I've got more money than I put into the whole deal. So back to the teams here. Looking at some of these matchups, let's try to get a better one here for a feel like with the New England Patriots at 47 points, 11.5 favorites. So these are some of the key points that you look at in preparing as you look at who's out, like such as this guy for the Bills. I know there's a key statistic out there right now that the Bills, since they traded Donovan Darius, I think his name is, a defensive tackle, that they've allowed many fantasy running backs, to get a lot of points. So sometimes you pick up these things by listening to broadcasts and so forth, like podcasts or whatever. So you pick up these things, and just knowing that there's going to be a running back, although trying to figure out which one will get good runs, for on his Bills defense. So something to think about. But here is just a brief overview of the players available in this game on the Bills side. McCoy and Tyrod Taylor could be, statistically, the numbers show that he could likely have one of his high upside games, which is not a lot for what this player is, as he's probably projected to get 16 points, which is okay for what it is if you want to play it safe, and you can do that with him. So that's you got to think about each player and what's their max and what's their low end or floor potential in each game, and evaluate that. You don't really have to do it one by one, as you can kind of sort it out as you want, but this is a key way that I sort out from the beginning, is that I take my prior watch players from last week, since I hadn't done this yet, and clear those out for the week. Right? And then I look at who are my most consistent players that I want to go ahead and make sure I consider this week in playing them in some of my cash and tournament games. All right, so right away I'm going to see and look at considering Russell Wilson has a decent matchup playing away, but in Dallas. Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, we can bring back into the mix, even though he had some slow weeks, he didn't do much. Ben Roethlisberger, I'm sure, along with his receivers, we'll look at, maybe get into. And if these guys have health concerns, of course, with him, expected to be available Sunday against the Jets. So if that's the case here, we'll watch him. We're just watching players. Same with Fournette. I expect him to be available. Yep, I was right. Larry Fitzgerald, and so on. So you're just looking at watching. All you're doing is watching the players. Doesn't mean you're going to start these players or whatever. You're just watching and considering. I like a couple more of these guys right away. Okay? All right. C.J. Anderson, that's where it gets a little tricky. You want to look at his depth. It's running back number 1. And you can sort out later on, as of course some of these positions won't be stacked like other positions are. That's where you take a look at the actual position optimizer, of which you probably have on here, I'm sure. Let's see. Like running back, let's see, just to see. Okay. Not sure what all that means yet, so. But you can go through the depth chart this time of year. I recommend coming down to 3rd. If you really want to play it safe, you can even look at down to 4th and see how this list changes, because this time of year there's a lot of injuries and so forth. A lot of 3rd stringers are playing, maybe 4th stringers. So we can drop it down just to see if any of these guys are showing up, like in the quarterbacks. Let's see. Maybe not, but just to give us a better, more so with the running backs, let's see who shows up. That it may be a consistent option, because Most of any optimizers are not going to pick this kind of data up, but this system will right here. So we got who's looking at performing good. So we got a few RB2s, such as Stewart and Kamara and Bernard, of course. Those are expected. Just looking to see if we happen to have anybody this week that's buried in the depth chart that could maybe raise up. DJ Foster, I know, and I see he's gotten involved in the passing game. As we can tell here, statistically, at 4.4 targets a game. And so with his, limited feature of the game, in their Cardinals offense, he could do a little bit with maybe a low side flex option or something on DraftKings. And here's another guy, TJ Yeldon, that if, let's say, Fournette didn't play, obviously you want to look out him and already have him watched as a possibility. So, especially with Ivory, so he could get the RB2 status as he's leaving his availability for Sunday's game against the 49ers clouded. So there we see that. This guy, Corey Clement, he's got some touchdowns and so forth and seen that, but what you also want to look at doing is here throughout, if you have time and can do so throughout the week, look at this. I'm going to show you something really cool that you hopefully you've held on to be able to see this long during the video. And it's just that, you can do this free if you don't already have it. It's just that, you can look at, I can't find, unless you can find something that tells me like red zone use and percentage. I'm sure that stat is out there somewhere. But if you have the time, why not just watch it? So you could watch it here. Let's see. On NFL Red Zone. And you just do so by, watching on your laptop, pulling it up, absolutely free of charge. So right here, these are just live game scenarios that are happening, of course, during the live in game red zone. Even though it's a couple plays behind, running behind a little bit, just to show you how it looks. Of course, on your laptop, and you can. I just recorded it, so you can see it. But the website is sportsarefree.xyz. As we see, that of course the NFL Network channel provides that information, showing you every red zone play, so you can't miss anything as you get an idea of what's going on. Like as we see here, for example, who's in on the play here. Let's see. Okay. So he was throwing at his tight end, and I can't confirm who the running back looks like. It was Holmes, maybe coming out of the backfield, like a third string tight end or something. And if it was Foster, if you can confirm who that was, coming out of the backfield, you got a good idea of who that is and what's going on in the red zone. So let's see. We can see who that was. Or if that was Seals Jones, the other tight end, I can't confirm, but just, you can look up all that information, of course, like on this site. It's going to show you another resource before we get going. I'm hoping, because I think this shows the numbers on the NFL depth charts, which is actually, it may be on here. Does it have the numbers? You click on one of these guys, let's see. Quick comparison for you in your Sunday preparation. I'm going to tell you one more thing that I look at. I look at the weekly schedules, and I never take a team really, at least not stacking them, a team that's played back-to-back road games because they're tired. So I don't do that. I stay away from that, even though you'll see a lot of experts out there, they'll just name these players off and they don't care. But for me, I won't do it. I don't want to put myself in a position where I rely on these players. But anyways, this is taking too long to load up. It's just going to show you, the positions on our lads, depth charts. You can check all the defense and everything and try to get a better idea of who they're matching up against. You know, check the height of a receiver versus a cornerback and all kinds of things like that, and other defensive players. So just want to leave you all that with the preparation. And he's number 24, right? Just to show you that. So thanks for watching, and we'll do the next one video soon. Bye-bye.